equal to minus Ka dt upon dx. K is here the coefficient of thermal conductivity, whose unit is the W upon per meter per Kelvin. W here is the watt. Watt per meter per Kelvin will be the unit. And the second mode of the heat, and the A is the cross-sectional area, and dt upon dx is the temperature gradient. That means per unit distance, how much temperature changing takes place. In case of the convection, heat transfer rate in the convection is given by the Newton's law, and the conduction heat transfer takes place in the solids only, and convection heat transfer takes place in the case of the liquid and the gases. Just by receiving the heat, liquid becomes hotter, and so its density becomes less. So lesser density means it rises upwards. And at the top, cold fluid having the high and low temperature, so density is more, that higher density fluid come downwards. So by this convection current, this heat transfer taking place. So it is equal to the Q is equal to minus HA and dt. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient, whose unit is the W per meter square per Kelvin. A is the surface area and dt is the temperature difference. And the third mode is the radiation. The heat transfer in the radiation by the Stefan-Boltzmann law is given. Q is equal to sigma A and T power 4. Sigma is known as the Boltzmann coefficient here, and its unit is given W per meter square per Kelvin power 4. So that means the radiation case heat transfer is proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature. These are the three modes, but if I'm saying about the evaporator side, the conduction and convection, these are the two major source of the heat transfer, and radiation is not significant in this case. And in case of the, I'm giving the some basics of the how the heat is transferring in case of the tubes. When you are using the evaporator, tubes are there. So you can see this is the tube is there, and inside some one fluid is there, and the other side is the another fluid is there. When the fluid is passing over the tubes, either inside or outside, it make a liquid film through which the temperature varies. Otherwise, you are seeing here, at this point, I have shown the temperature T1. At the surface, I have shown the temperature T2. At the outer surface, I have shown the temperature T3. And at the outer film, the temperature is T4. What it means, the T1 temperature means the inside film is formed through which the temperature varies from T1 to T2. But in the inside the tube, rest of the fluid is having the T1 temperature. That will be the constant. But in the film, which is formed on the surface of the tube, that varies the temperature T1 to T2. Okay. So that means through the film, the heat transfer, as it is a liquid film, so heat transfer takes place by the convection process. Okay. And through the tube's solid material, the heat transfer takes place through the conduction process. And again, at the outer surface, the heat transfer takes place through the convection process. So the heat transfer equation, which can be given by T1 minus T4. T1 means inside temperature and T4 is the outside temperature. That means the overall temperature difference is T1 minus T4. And divided by 1 upon Hi Ai plus ln Ro upon Ri divided by 2 pi Lk plus 1 upon Ho and Ao. What is the Hi? Hi is the inside film coefficient, convective film coefficient, heat transfer coefficient, and Ho is the outside. Ri is the inner tube radius that is shown here, and Ro is the outer radius of the tubes. Okay, Ai is the inner surface area of the tubes, and Ao is the outer surface area of the tubes. This is a very important equation, which is the basics of the all evaporator or condenser tube side is there, but here we are focusing on the evaporator side. If you put this equation UA and AO and multiply by T1 upon T4, then you will say that T1 upon T4 and divided by 1 upon UO and AO. Then you have to write this way. Okay. So that means that numerator is same in above equation and this equation. So numerator is denominator is 1 upon UO and AO, and this is the denominator in this equation. So by balancing this equation, I can write this equation is the 1 upon UO AO is equal to 1 upon HI AI ln RO upon RI divided by 2 pi L and divided by 1 upon HO and AO. This is the very governing equation which gives the heat transfer rate. And this will be very important, and you will see how this equation is important in the different topics. Okay. And A is the surface area. As you can see, this is the tubes is there and inner radius is the RI. So if you want to find out the inner surface area, outer surface area, so this will be the tube surface area. That will be the 2 pi RO and the length of the tubes that can be given. So here the 1 upon U. U is the overall heat transfer coefficient. When I'm putting the 1 upon, then it behaves like a resistance. When I'm saying just U, so it will be a conductance. When upon 1 upon U, so that means it is a resistance. So that means the resistance of the tube can be given by these equations. Now the question arises, this resistance, as it is very important, and we always say that the material of the tubes in the evaporators that should have a very high conductivity. So that means their K factor is the thermal conductivity of the tube should be very high. Okay, so that the more heat can be transferred. This is the one aspect. And second aspect is when I'm using the tube material, so this tube material should not be react with the refrigerant used. As you know, the ammonia cannot be used with the copper tubes because ammonia and copper react with each other, and in the very short period, the holes will be created on the tube surface, and the gas will leakage. So that means the ammonia is always used with the steel tubes or iron tubes. It cannot be used with the ammonia tubes, copper tubes. So that means this equation is based on these two characteristics. These are the common materials are shown. Do you understanding these things?
Sir, how is this equation derived?
This equation derived.
Yes, sir.
I think the time is not available. If I go to the derivation of these equations, so then it will not be possible. If you are interested, I will send you the derivation of this equation.
Okay.
But now I am focusing on the use of these equations. Okay. Now the common material of the tubes, as I told you, the iron and steels do not react with the common refrigerants, but rust is a form in the presence of the moisture. So this is the one problem maybe with the iron tubes or the steel tubes. And the another is the brass and copper can be used with any refrigerant except the ammonia. As I told you, the ammonia dissolve the coppers and which create the holes in that. So ammonia के साथ में हमेशा याद रखिएगा, we use the iron and steel tubes, and brass and copper are used with the other refrigerant other than the ammonia. And the aluminum may be used with any refrigerant except the methyl chloride. तो मिथाइल क्लोराइड जो है अमोनिया के साथ एल्युमिनियम के साथ में यूज नहीं कर सकते. एंड मैग्नीशियम एलॉयज कैन नॉट बी यूज विद द फ्लोरिनेटेड हाइड्रोकार्बन्स. दैट मींस HFC या CFC. CFCs के साथ में मैग्नीशियम एलॉयज कैन नॉट बी यूज. Okay, these are the general material which we are using, the either aluminum, brass, and the iron. I'm giving very interesting example. It will take just 5 minutes only, but it will be will give the very important concept to you. You see, because this is the basics of why we are using the fins. All concept is based on these examples. You see, we always say the copper is a very good material from the heat transfer point of view. Okay, this is the concept. My concept is the heat transfer is not the criteria to use the copper as a tube material in the evaporators. The other materials are also there. Whatever the material you are using, it is irrelevant with respect to the heat transfer. You see this example. In most of the application, if the refrigerant is passing through the tubes in the form of liquids, its thermal convective heat transfer coefficient, which I am using in the earlier equation, HI value, that is the 1000 watt per meter square per Kelvin. It is near to the 1000. Some refrigerant may have the 1050, 1065, or it may be the 1100, but on average, this value is the 1000. So for general examples cases, I am taking the 1000. Okay. If outside I'm using the air, so that means inside is the refrigerant, outside is the air. The inside HI value is the 1000 and outside it is the air. So this is the HO value there. The outside is the air, so its convective heat transfer coefficient value is very low side. Okay. In the cases of liquid, it is very high, and in the cases of the gases, it's a smaller side is there. And this value is of the order of 10 watt per meter square per Kelvin. Okay. And if suppose I'm using the copper, whose thermal conductivity K is the 383.559 watt per meter Kelvin. On the basis of these three parameters, and let's say the inner radius of the tube is the point, Ri value is the 0.075 meter. Ro value is the 0.08 meters. Or length, suppose it is a 1 meter length is there. So then how much will be the inner surface area of the tubes? This is the perimeters multiplied by the length will give the inner surface area. So that is can be find out by 2 pi r. So Ri is the 0.075 and the length I am taking the 1 meter. So that means the 0.4712 meter square is the inner surface area. And similarly, the outer surface area is how much? Outer radius, so that is the outer radius, the 0.08. So it's a 2 point multiplied by 0.08 and multiplied by the length 1 meter. So this is equal to the 0.5027 meter square is the outer surface area. Our formula is 1 upon UO, AO is equal to 1 upon HI AI plus ln RO upon RI divided by 2 pi LK plus 1 upon HO and AO. Now you put this value in this equation. What you get? 1 upon, as I told you, 1 upon U, that representing the resistance. So 1 upon U, AO is the resistance with respect to the outer surface. It will be equal to 1 upon, when I am putting the HI and AI value, so I will get the 1 upon 471.2 plus when I am putting value in this ones, and that will be all values available that I place in terms of the 1 upon, that will the 1 upon 37037 plus 1 upon HO and AO when multiplied by 10 and AO is the 0.50, this will give the 5.027. Okay. And when you divide this, we get the 0.00212 plus 0.40 and then 27 plus 0.198927. 25 और इसका sum किया, then I will get the 0.201074. अब देखिए, why I am writing this way, it is a meaning for that ones. You see how much resistance, total resistance against the heat transfer between outside air and inside refrigerant is how much total resistance is. This is the total resistance. Are you getting? Hello?
No, sir.
Are you getting this one?
No, sir.
No, yeah, yes. No.
No, sir. No.
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 It is just you understanding this equation? Please let me understanding this equation.
एक बार.
This is the heat transfer equation between inside to outside. If the outside is the hot air is coming, then the heat will transfer to the refrigerant. This equation is the 1 upon UO, AO. U is taking care overall heat transfer coefficient. Okay, and 1 upon HI and AI. This is the inside resistance. Ln RO upon RI divided by 2 pi LK. It is representing the resistance of the tube, solid materials. And 1 upon HO and AO is representing the resistance at the outer surface. Okay, so I am calculating the total resistance against the heat transfer. So if I am putting in this equation, अब देखिए 1 upon UO AO that is equal to the 1 upon HI AI. HI का वैल्यू कितना है 1000 और AI का वैल्यू कितना है, this is a 0.4712. तो 0.4712 multiplied by 1000 will be कितना हो जाएगा 471.2 हो जाएगा ना. तो वही मैंने सिंपली लिखा है 1 upon 471.2.
सर ये ln RO upon RI वाला
ln log है, log लिखते हैं ना, RO upon RI.
Ahluwalia sir, can I request?
हाँ जी सर.
Sir, this is more on design part. I think we are supposed to get them acquainted with. No, we are supposed to get them acquainted. What is evaporator, the kind of evaporators, their function, DX type or Shannon tube.
सर वो सब कवर करूंगा सर, मैं वो सब कवर करूंगा.
These kind of equations may be very heavy because these are more related to design part.
सर इसके बिना ना तो ये फिन का कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर होता है कि फिन क्यों लगाई जाती है और फिन की साइड लगानी है, एयर साइड में फिन क्यों लगानी है, दूसरी साइड क्यों नहीं लगानी है. मैं सिर्फ इसमें 5 मिनट लूंगा, इनको भी कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर करना है. और कॉपर ही क्यों यूज करते हैं उसका कॉन्सेप्ट इसके बिना नहीं आएगा, 5 मिनट लगेंगे.
तो इक्वेशन से ज्यादा उसको थ्योरी में कन्वर्ट कर दीजिए ना सर.
मैं थ्योरी बस यही पेज है, आगे थ्योरी है सर.
ठीक.
बच्चों सिर्फ हमने इस इक्वेशन में ये वैल्यूज प्लेस करी हैं. ओके, और इसमें लॉग की वैल्यू और 2 पाई एल के की वैल्यू रखा तो ये 1 अपॉन 37037 आएगा. और यहाँ पे देखिए एचओ है, एचओ कितना है मेरे पास में 10. सो 1 अपॉन 10 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय एओ वैल्यू मैंने निकाला हुआ है ना 0.5027. तो ये कितना हो गया 5.027 ही हो गया, 5.027 हो गया. और उसको 1 को डिवाइड किया इतने से, तो दिस इज द इंडिविजुअल रेसिस्टेंस. दिस इज द रेसिस्टेंस एट द इनर साइड and this is the resistance at the copper material and this is the resistance at the outer surface. And इसको सम किया तो total resistance is this value. अब इसका जो conclusion है कि 3 parts में हमारा resistance आ रहा है. एक तो inside fluid का resistance है and the another resistance offered by the copper tube and third resistance is offered by the outer surface. अब इसमें देखिएगा जरा contribution to the resistance of the inner surface. Inner side में हमारा resistance कितना है, this is the 0.002122. ये मैंने लिखा 0.002122 multiply by 100 और total resistance is this one. So that means inner side resistance is the 1.055%.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Resistance of the wall. अब रेसिस्टेंस ऑफ द वॉल में देखिए कितना रेसिस्टेंस है सॉलिड पोर्शन का 0.00027 और टोटल से इसको डिवाइड कर दीजिए 0.000027 divided by the total resistance, multiply by 100, you will get the 0.013% only. And resistance on the outer side means on the air side, 0.198925. ये देखिए 0.198925. This value divided by the total resistance, 98.93%. In this case, the maximum resistance against the heat transfer is on the air side, 98%. Copper tube का तो कोई resistance ही नहीं आ रहा, 0.013% है. Why we are using the copper tubes, which is a very costliest? Now you see in this one, I have shown if I in place of the copper tube, I am using the aluminum. And aluminum का K factor is the 203. और अगर पूरी ये calculation I repeat this once, aluminum लेकर के, तो I get the contribution of the resistance. Aluminum is offering just 0.025%. Copper का भी हमने calculate किया कितना 0.013%. If I am using the brass, 0.06%. If I am using the iron, 0.082%. अब मुझे ये बताइए कि इसमें हमने कॉपर ट्यूब में क्या हीट ट्रांसफर ज्यादा किया?
नो सर।
No, sir.
यस सर।
कोई भी मटेरियल
Yes,
यूज
sir.
कर लीजिए, सबका रेसिस्टेंस ऑलमोस्ट सेम आ रहा है. So contribution toward the resistance of all metals are approximately negligible है ये, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता क्योंकि वो इसका थिकनेस इतना कम होता है. कोई भी मटेरियल यूज कीजिए, irrespect of the material यूज, हीट ट्रांसफर पे एल्युमिनियम यूज करेंगे तो भी कोई हीट ट्रांसफर फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, कॉपर यूज करेंगे तो भी हीट ट्रांसफर पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. और कॉपर का रेट और एल्युमिनियम के रेट में बहुत फर्क होता है, especially aluminum and copper. Comparison of the other two is almost negligible. तो क्वेश्चन arises why we are using the copper tubes. आप एल्युमिनियम ट्यूब्स क्यों नहीं यूज करते, आयरन ट्यूब्स क्यों नहीं यूज करते? ये कॉन्सेप्ट तो आपको माइंड में रखना है कि रेफ्रिजरेंट जो भी है, hence this example suggests that the use the cheap material which should not react with the refrigerant. ये सिर्फ आपको कॉन्सेप्ट माइंड में रखना है. ये आयरन है, मतलब अमोनिया गैस अगर यूज कर रहे हैं तो कॉपर तो यूज होगा ही नहीं, तो आयरन यूज कीजिए. मॉइस्चर की एक प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है आयरन के साथ में, तो आपने बहुत सारी ऐसी साइट्स होती हैं जहाँ पे जैसे गंदा नाला होता है ना, जहाँ पे सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड की जैसे रोटन एक्स की स्मेल आती है, वहां पे कॉपर ट्यूब यू कैन नॉट यूज बिकॉज H2O गैस जो राइज करता है ना, दैट विद द मिक्सचर मेक द सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड. वहां पे तो कॉपर के फेल हो जाते हैं, सिस्टम ही फेल हो जाते हैं. There the only option is the aluminum you have to use. In many projects we have seen that the copper is completely failure in that site, because in a very short period, in the 2 months or 3 months, the holes is splitted because the SO2 gas and the moisture is always present in the environment, and that makes the sulfuric acid. And when these vapors goes on the tubes, and in the very short period, they make a hole because sulfuric acid give the reaction on that ones. So here the very important thing which I want to show you by this small calculation, that use the cheap material which should not be non-reacting with the refrigerants. Otherwise इस example के अंदर जहां पर एक साइड में एयर है, एक साइड में रेफ्रिजरेंट है, तो that means the material has no relevancy with respect to the heat transfer. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
मैं इस कैलकुलेशन को आपको दूंगा, आप इसको फिर दोबारा से आपको समझिएगा ताकि आपको समझ में आएगा. इसकी पीपीटी भी मैं आपको दूंगा. ओके? And the next is this LMT is very important terms. I hope that all of you know. Heat transfer में भी आपने पढ़ा होगा logarithmic mean temperature difference. Do you understand the LMTD?
Yes, sir.
Because when the fluid is passing, they does not follow the straight lines. They having some curve is there. So that means the heat, when we are calculating the heat transfer, Q is equal to UA and delta T. So delta T is the arithmetic mean temperature of the fluid, and by which we get some wrong results. So we have to take this temperature difference between the two fluid is taking LMT. Okay, so our heat transfer equation Q is equal to UA and LMTD. LMTD is known as the logarithmic mean temperature difference. ये आपका heat transfer का class हुआ होगा, उसमें जरूर आपको ये बताया होगा. Okay, if you're having the LMTD is used. THO minus TCO, that means that it's a parallel flow type is there, counter flow type is there. If we are using, so these two equations can be used. I'm not going to more detail in this equation, but LMTD or arithmetic temperature difference. आप इसमें यहाँ देखिए, यहाँ temperature difference and the temperature difference at this ones are not same. They are the different values they have. It is in case of the parallel flow. Parallel flow means both the fluid is moving in the same direction. Okay, when both the fluid is moving in the opposite directions, so that means one is moving in this direction, other is moving in this direction. So this is known as the counter flow. So in case of the counter flow is the best heat transfer, क्योंकि उसमें देखिए आपको approximately similar temperature difference you are getting. So when the approximately similar temperature difference you are getting, so LMTD value will be higher. And in this case, the heat transfer will be maximum when they are at the inlet, but this heat transfer rate decreases continuously as the temperature difference or LMTD value going on decrease. So counter flow heat exchanger, that means the evaporator is always preferred. Another factor is the fouling factors. Do you understand what is the meaning of the fouling?
Scaling.
Yes. This every time we have to face these fouling factors. That means fouling is the scaling formation inside the tubes, or that may also takes place at the outer surface. This scaling basically that is also taking care in the heat transfer. That is also important, but that is when we do the designing side, then it will be required. लेकिन फॉलिंग होता क्या है और ये कहाँ होता है, कैसे होता है, ये थोड़ा सा जरूर समझना चाहिए. That should be an important parameter. When I'm saying the falling on the external surface means अगर आपने अपनी ट्यूब्स को देखिए, fully coiled tubes में it is observed that the outside dust particle, जो भी कोल्ड चीजें होती है ना, उनकी टेंडेंसी होती है दे स्टिकी थिंग्स. दैट मींस अगर आप अपनी उंगली को भी उसके ऊपर टच करेंगे ना, तो आपको ऐसा लगेगा चिपक गया, बिकॉज द सरफेस टेंशन हियर प्लेज अ रोल. सो आपको चिपक जाता है, दैट मींस दैट स्टिक टू देयर. सो सिमिलरली इन द केस ऑफ द एक्सटर्नल सर्फेसेस, let's say the cold refrigerant is passing or the cold water is passing through the tubes. At the outer surface, some dust particles or lint कहते हैं, some fibers are there. So these has the sticky action and they adhere at the surface. And the depositing of this dust particle or depositing of this different origin particle at the outer surface, they behave like a insulation. And in some cases, the ice is also formed at the outer surface, that is known as the frost formation. So this frost formation is also behave like an insulation. So it reduces the heat transfer. So this is a very important thing, and that we'll discuss later on, that should be removed continuously. And in case of the liquid cooling application, fouling of the external tube is generally the scale formation, because the water is passing or the liquid is passing, if it is not impure, that means, for example, if the water is passing over the surface of the tubes and it having the impurities, so it is observed that in a long term, there's some scale, white cluster scale formation ho jata hai, and that reduces the heat transfer. And the fouling, when I'm saying the internal surface, what it means, the internal surface falling means when the refrigerant is passing through the tubes, you see, and the heat is transferred to this refrigerant, then evaporation of the refrigerant takes place, means the liquid convert in terms of the vapors. When the liquid convert in terms of the vapors, so bubbles are formed. These bubbles, when they are formed, they cling to the surface. मतलब वो surface के ऊपर चिपक जाते हैं. और bubbles जो है, these are the basically vapors, and they play a insulation role. That means they reduce the heat transfer. And second thing is that oil, lubricating oil, which is also passing over the evaporated tubes, they may also deposit there. And the oil behave like an insulator also, because its conductivity is less than the liquid refrigerant. So that means the liquid, oil as well as this vapors both reduces the heat transfer rates. So this is known as the falling on internal surface. And this can be removed only by proper selection of the refrigerant velocity. So that means if the refrigerant is coming with a higher velocity, so it will sweep away the oil as well as these bubbles. So that means bubbles and oil should be regularly removed by the proper selection of the velocity. Otherwise, it will reduce the heat transfer rate. So that means this falling is a very important parameter, and that we should take care about this one also. Now, the three types of the tube system we will use in the systems. Number one is the bare tubes. And then we have to, the question basically is there, why we are using the fins. अभी जो हमने आपको एग्जांपल बताया, अगर मैं आपसे पूछता हूं if I am asking 1 upon x is equal to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 100. Okay, without calculation, just a glance, मुझे बताइए x का वैल्यू 10 से कम होगा, 10 100 के बीच में होगा या 100 से ज्यादा होगा? Without calculation.
So 1/10 से ज्यादा होगा थोड़ा सा.
नहीं, x वैल्यू पूछ रहा हूँ, 1 by नहीं, x नहीं पूछ रहा, x पूछ रहा हूँ.
Between 10 and 100.
हाँ जी,
ज्यादा होगा.
10 से
कम होगा.
If I'm asking 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 5, calculator मत उठाना, just मुझे बताइए, here x value will be less than 3, between 3 and 5 or more than 5?
More than 5.
More than 5. अब जरा कैलकुलेटर है तो उससे देख के बताइए जरा कितना x वैल्यू. कितना देर लगेगा?
कैलकुलेटर तो पॉइंट में दिखा रहा है.
लेस देन 10 आ रहा है.
इसमें लेस देन 10 आ रहा है,
Yes, sir.
0.5 दिखा रहा है.
लेस देन 10 आता है इसमें. This value will be less than 10.
हम बताए थे उसमें.
If I'm having 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 1000, my x value will be 9.9. Okay, let's say I improve the 1000 को और मैंने ज्यादा कर दिया, let's say I make 1 upon x is equal to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 2000, 1000 को और increase कर दिया, then still my value is less than x, means less than 10. In this case, x value is equal to the 9.95. Means आपका जो हायर वैल्यूज है आप उसको कितना भी इंक्रीज कर दीजिए, इसको 10,000 भी कर देंगे ना, even then I will get the value less than 10. So I mean to say here that means improvement इस साइड में जरूरत नहीं है, इंप्रूवमेंट का जरूरत है आपका कहां पर, इंप्रूवमेंट का जरूरत है इसमें 10 का. In this equation, if I make 1 upon x is equal to 1 upon 100 plus 1 upon 1000, then I will get the x value 99.9 something. Now my value has increased. So that means in this case always x value will be less than, जो आपका डिनोमिनेटर में जो लोअर है ना उससे कम रहेगा, और जो हायर वैल्यू को आप कितना भी बढ़ाते चले जाइए आपका एक्स वैल्यू नहीं बढ़ेगा. ये कॉन्सेप्ट होता है आपका फिन्स का यूज करने का, और फिन्स को किस साइड यूज करना है और फिन्स को क्यों यूज नहीं करना, किस कंडीशन में नहीं यूज करना, दैट विल बी डिसाइडेड विद दिस इक्वेशंस. हाउ, देखिए अभी हमने निकाला था 1 upon u. If you are remembering, I have put this value देखिए इस फॉर्मेट में लिखा था ना, मेरा लिखने का मतलब यही था. अब इस फॉर्मेट को मैं वहां पे दोबारा लिख रहा हूं. देखिए 1 upon u, 1 upon 471.2, 1 upon 37037 and 1 upon 5027. This is the this side inside. Inside is the refrigerant is passing, and this is the copper tube resistance is there, and this side is the air is that side, and this side the refrigerant. So that means in any case which indicate that the overall value, अगर if मैंने निकालना है UAO, in this case the UAO का जो मेरे पास वैल्यू आएगा that will be the 4.97 से ज्यादा नहीं आएगा, and 4.97 is less than the 5.027. यानी कि जो x मैंने बताया था यहाँ पे x by UAO है, which is the basic more is the value heat transfer rate, Q is equal to UAO and LMTD. That means more is the overall heat transfer coefficient value, the heat transfer. So that means on the air side, my minimum value is on the air side, 5.027. So that means I should upgrade the air side by providing any means. क्योंकि रेफ्रिजरेंट साइड में 4.71 है, इसको मैं अगर कोई भी इंप्रूवमेंट करता हूं तो मेरी वैल्यू तो भी 5 से कम ही होगा. ओके, which indicate that the overall U is the 4.97, which is less than the minimum value 5.027 से कम है. So lower side coefficient is the controlling coefficient. Lower side coefficient is the controlling coefficient होता है. अब हमें इसके बिहाफ पर ही हमें देखना होगा. अब इसमें देखिए मैं आपको पहली साइड, one side inside I am using the refrigerant or water that have the order of the 1000. Outside is the air, so that means outside air है, वहां पर 10 के ऑर्डर का था. So that means I should use by providing the increasing the HO. या तो कैसे हीट ट्रांसफर बढ़ेगा, दो फैक्टर्स हैं, H है और आउटर सरफेस एरिया है. आइदर यू इंक्रीज द H, कन्वेक्टिव हीट ट्रांसफर कोफिशिएंट को बढ़ाइए. वो कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं, जितना ज्यादा वेलोसिटी बढ़ाएंगे उतना ज्यादा आपका HO फैक्टर बढ़ेगा. कन्वेक्टिव हीट ट्रांसफर कोफिशिएंट विल इंक्रीज. ओके, बट द velocity selected for the air also has a limitation. उससे ज्यादा हम लोग यूज नहीं कर सकते, उसकी एक लिमिट है. So then what we have to do? We have to increase the outer surface area. Outer surface area can be increased by providing the fins. इसलिए एयर साइड में अगर अन साइड में लिक्विड है तो दूसरे साइड में एयर है, तो एयर साइड में हम फिन्स लगा करके आउटर सरफेस एरिया को इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं. ओके, इट इज द वन पॉइंट. इफ बोथ साइड आर द लिक्विड मींस एक साइड रेफ्रिजरेंट है और अदर साइड इज द वाटर लाइक द चिलर्स. ओके, इन दिस केस फिन्स आर नॉट यूज्ड. व्हाई? बिकॉज द बोथ साइड H factor is of the same order. फिन्स का कॉस्ट लगाने का थोड़ा बहुत कहीं 19-20 का फर्क होगा तो भी कोई बेनिफिट नहीं होने वाला उसका. ओके, सो दैट मींस इन दैट केस द बेयर ट्यूब्स कैन बी यूज्ड व्हेन बोथ साइड फैक्टर इज द सेम. इन द सम एप्लीकेशन एक्सटर्नल एयर वेलोसिटी इज वेरी हाई, यानी कि इनसाइड लिक्विड तो है लेकिन आउटसाइड एयर है, but the outside velocity is very high. उस केसेस में it is observed that the inside convective heat transfer coefficient कम हो जाता है. तब उसमें क्या करेंगे हम लोग? Inner fins are provided in the tubes. Inner fins are basically these are the grooves are provided inside the tubes. Okay. अब आपको कहां पर फिन्स प्रोवाइड करना है? जिस साइड में एच फैक्टर कम है. ठीक, बोथ साइड लिक्विड है तो सिमिलर एच फैक्टर होगा, कन्वेक्टिव हीट ट्रांसफर कोएफिशिएंट, तो इन दैट केस नो फिन्स आर रिक्वायर्ड. इफ वन साइड इज लिक्विड और रेफ्रिजरेंट, अदर साइड इज द एयर इज देयर, so that means the fins should be provided on the air side because their H factor is less. If by chance the air velocity at the outside is very high, so H factor becomes more than the inner factor of the liquid. So in that case, we use the tubes having the internal grooves which work like a fins. So I hope that the why we are using the fins, here we should provide the fins. This concept is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Any questions?
No, sir.
And when we are providing the fins, हमें 2-3 पॉइंट को जरूर इसमें याद रखना है. What these points are? Generally हम लोग जो यूज करते हैं, fins are usually the copper के fins होते हैं, aluminium fins होते हैं और stainless steels. Okay, but most important thing is that the between the tube surface and the fins, it should make a perfect bonding. यहाँ पर जो bonding होना चाहिए ना, वो perfect bonding होना चाहिए. If this bonding becomes loose, so loose means कि some air may enters in this portion between the tube and the fins. The air may enters and that can reduce the heat transfer rate. So that means the bonding between the fins and tube, that should be perfect. And the fins material, the aluminum fins, sheets for fins and copper tubes. These are the best for popular combination. Means the aluminum sheets का आपका fins होगा और copper tubes होगा. दूसरा combination है for the harsher climate. That means the Atlantic Sea, coastal area जहाँ पर होता है, वहाँ पर we prefer the copper tubes and copper fins. All automobile air conditioning cases में we use the aluminum tubes and aluminum fins due to lighter weight. Okay, because of these aluminum fins, copper tubes is the best combination. And second, harsher climate में copper tubes, copper fins are used. And in the automobiles में air conditioning में aluminum tubes and aluminum fins due to its lighter weight, they are used. या इससे थोड़ा सा देखिए नंबर ऑफ फिन्स कितना होना चाहिए। देखिए स्मॉल फिन्स ट्यूब्स, द फिन्स जनरली आर यूज्ड 1 to 14 फिन्स पर इंच। 1 इंच में 1 to 14 fins are used for general air conditioning application where the temperature is much higher above the 0 degree centigrade. That means the frost formation conditions are not there. So 12 to 14 fins per inch हम लोग use करते हैं. Okay. In the evaporators where the temperature is on lower, that means closer to the 0 degree centigrade, and the frost forming chances are much more. In that case, less fins are used. That means the gap you have between the two fins are more. So that means 1 inch may only 2 or 3 fins are used. And in the cold storage application, may we use the 6.5 fins per inch. So that means 2 inch may we are using the 13 fins. At the 2 inch basis, 13 fins are used. This is the cold storage में general practice which we are using on this one. And then let's come to the evaporators. One important point, fin efficiency. You see, the bare tube has the maximum efficiency because the refrigerant is inside. Let's say the refrigerant is passing at a temperature of the 5 degrees centigrade and the outside air is coming at a temperature of 40 degrees centigrade. So that means if the bare tubes we are using, that means the without fins we are using, how much temperature difference we are getting? 40 minus 5. So that means maximum heat transfer will take place. But if we are using the fins, that means the air, this is the fins we are using, the air which is coming in contact with this bare tube. So that will have the 5 degrees centigrade and air temperature is the 40 degrees centigrade. Okay. So at this point we'll get the 40 minus 5 degrees centigrade, that means the 35 degree temperature difference will get here. But the air which is coming here, तो air इस point पर fins का temperature कितना होगा? That the air temperature. So that means fins temperature will have the 40 degrees here. And the fins ka bottom temperature will be the 5 degrees centigrade temperature. So that means the fin temperature continuously varies from 5 to 40. So that means the air which is coming here at the top will get the 0 temperature difference. So that means no heat transfer. The air which is coming here, so here maybe the temperature will be between the 5 to 40. It may be the 20 degrees centigrade. So that means here temperature difference between the air and the fin surface temperature will be the 40 minus 20. So 20 degrees centigrade temperature will be there. So more heat will be transferred. So that means the whole area of the fins is not transferring heat as the bare tube surface is transferred. यानी कि fins बढ़ाने का benefit 100% नहीं होता, क्योंकि fins का जो top point होगा, tip होगा, वहां पर कम heat transfer होगा और उसके bottom point पे maximum heat transfer होगा. So this we have to take care by the efficiency. So efficiency of effectiveness of the fins can be defined as the ratio between the actual heat transfer from the fin surface and the theoretical heat transfer when the held at a constant temperature equal to the refrigerant. मतलब कि अगर इसका पूरी fins का temperature 5 degree centigrade होता तो it will behave like a bare tube, maximum heat transfer होता. लेकिन अभी heat transfer variation में है, तो variation में heat transfer is less. So that means the actual heat transfer with temperature variation divided by maximum heat transfer when the whole temperature is equal to the refrigerant temperature. So this is known as the efficiency of the fins. And this efficiency of the fins is generally of the order of 80%. Okay. So this is the background of the evaporators. Means we have to understand what the material we are using. If we are behind the copper, why we are behind the copper, but the calculation shows that all materials is behaving similarly, their resistance is almost negligible, and what the meaning of the fins is to increase the surface area for the more heat transfer, but where we should provide the heat transfer. So we should provide the extra fins where the H factor, convective heat transfer coefficient, is lower. On that side, we should provide the fins. If both side H factor is similar, then the no fins is required. So I hope this is the basic and background. And when we start, actual evaporators are there. So this is the basic requirement which is used in the evaporator tubes that you should understand. I hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's move to the different types of the evaporators and what is their application is there. You see, the evaporators is component of refrigeration, as I told you earlier. It is removed either from the air or any other bodies, or maybe some other liquids or the solids, depending on that ones. We can divide the evaporators on the two bases. One is for air cooling evaporators. What is the meaning of air cooling evaporators? You can understand yourself. In air cooling evaporators, low temperature refrigerant vaporizes in the cooling coil or in the tubes, and outside the hot air is passing over. Okay. So on the basis of this ones, if the outside is air and inside is the refrigerant, we call it is a air cooling evaporators. And evaporators generally falls in the two categories. One is known as the flooded evaporators and the second is known as the dry or direct expansion evaporators. Anybody understand what is the flooded evaporator? What is the dry or direct expansion evaporators? Have some idea about this ones? Anybody?
Sir, in flooded evaporators, the cooling liquid is flooded on the coils to cool it more. Its efficiency is more than the dry one.
Okay. What is the flooded evaporators that you can see here? In the flooded evaporators, you see there is a chamber. That chamber you can see in this figure. And these are the evaporator tubes are there. If the evaporator tubes, irrespective of the load means heat coming toward the evaporators, it always remains filled with the liquid refrigerant. मतलब कि पूरा का पूरा ट्यूब, पूरा portion, whole portion of the tubes from the starting to the end point, it is completely remain filled with the liquid refrigerant. We call it is a flooded evaporators. Here, this is known as the flooded evaporator. In the flooded evaporator, you see this diagram. There is a chamber. It is known as the accumulators. And this chamber is attached from this side, from the condensers. The refrigerant is coming, or from the receivers, refrigerant is coming. आप ये वाला portion देखिए, इस portion में. This has the float control valve. ये देख रहे हैं आपको arrow देख रहे हैं? This is the valve है, और this is the balls होता है. आपने flash के अंदर, टॉयलेट में जो flash होता है, box होता है ना, उसके अंदर आपने system देखा है ना? उसमें फ्लोट बॉल, बड़ा सा बॉल होता है यार. ये आप देख रहे हैं, और यहाँ पर हिंज होता है, लीवर्स होते हैं, और ये एरो टाइप होता है. इसको बोलते हैं फ्लोट कंट्रोल वाल्व सिस्टम. दिस फ्लोट कंट्रोल वाल्व सिस्टम throttle the refrigerant and allow it to enter into this accumulators or this chamber as soon as और उसके बाद में देखिए अगर जो वेपर फॉर्मेशन होता है टॉप पे देखिए वेपर्स है, ये वेफल्स बना हुआ है. These vapors goes toward the suction side, that means toward the compression. So this portion में, let's say if the heat is coming, okay, when the heat is coming, so definitely the liquid refrigerant try to vaporize, vapor formation होगा, and these vapors as lighter than the liquids, ये हमेशा सिस्टम हमेशा वर्टिकल फॉर्म में रखा रहेगा. ओके, ये हॉरिजॉन्टल फॉर्म में नहीं यूज होता है. तो इन दिस वन वेपर्स आर फॉर्म एंड दीज वेपर्स देन राइजेस अपवर्ड साइड. ये डॉटेड जो आप देख रहे हैं, दीज डॉटेड आर द वेपर्स एंड दीज वेपर्स आर गोइंग अपवर्ड्स एज हियर द लो प्रेशर इज जनरेटेड बिकॉज द हियर द कंप्रेशर produces the suction pressure, that means the negative pressure is produced. So these vapors rises toward the compressor side. So as the liquid is converting to vapor and going toward the compression, so that the liquid level slightly comes down. So that means as it is attached, तो यहाँ पर जैसे liquid down होता है, तो the ball जो देख रहे हैं ना आप ये ball, that rises, sorry, that falls. क्योंकि liquid कम हो गया तो ये down हो गया. When it comes downward side, तो correspondingly you can see this lever arrangement, ये जो arrow है, that arrows move toward the right side. तो immediately some liquid refrigerant from the condenser enters. फिर level जो है आपका उतना ही आ जाता है. As soon as this ball is in horizontal condition, तो level आपका complete हो गया. So as the heat is coming and vaporizing the liquid refrigerant, so level come downward side, more refrigerant enters. But here the 100% it is made sure that the evaporator tubes are always filled with the liquid refrigerants. And as I told you earlier, the tube surface के ऊपर if the liquids are there, liquid always absorb the latent heat. ये मैंने previous classes में भी आपको बताया. Okay, vapor already has the latent heat. That's why it is in the vapor form, gas form. So it's only can absorb the sensible heat, and sensible heat is almost negligible. So it is the contribution of the latent heat. So that means whole tube surface is covered with the liquid. So maximum heat transfer takes place. So this flooded evaporator shows its maximum at all load conditions. At all load conditions. Definitely in this one the refrigerant required is large quantity, so it is a costly and it is a slightly bulky size is also there. It find its application in the chemical and food processing units. Particle rises along with the vapor, so vapor particles से जैसे वो strike करेगा, being the heavy particles of the liquid, they come downward side. So that means the liquid particles are not allowed to go into the compression. हाँ जी, ये flooded evaporator concept समझ में आया?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question.
हाँ जी?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, if the tubes are always filled with the liquid vapor or liquid refrigerator, then how does that vaporized refrigerator travel?
Travels?
Yes, sir.
You see, if it is the tubes are closed at this end, then the vapor formation will remain within the tubes and it will not travel. Okay, but these tubes are attached with this chamber. So if vapors are formed, vapors in देखिए bubble हम किसको कहते हैं? Vapor जो formation होता है, vapor is very lighter, and these vapor inside the liquid is known as the bubbles. And as bubbles has a very lighter because the vapors are lighter. तो अगर vapors को कोई भी space मिलता है, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं से रास्ता ढूंढ करके वो इमीडिएटली ट्रैवल करके इधर से निकलेगा. देखिए सबसे पहले क्या होगा, इस पोर्शन में जो वेपर फॉर्मेशन वो निकलेगा, तो सम वैक्यूम इज क्रिएटेड, तो इधर वाला वेपर जो है वो इसके बाद इधर आएगा. फिर इससे वाला वेपर साइड,
Yes, sir.
that means it travel from right to left side, or this compressor is sucking these vapors, so continuously the space is provided and this vapor going toward the compressor side and they are moving. But as the vapor is going toward that side and liquid level comes down, so ball has the sense just by coming downward side that the liquid level has come down. तो ये कंटिन्यूअस और साइमल्टेनियस प्रोसेस होता है कि वेपर जो फॉर्मेशन जो भी हुआ वो ऊपर चला जाता है और लिक्विड जो है उसमें कम हुआ तो लेवल, अब लिक्विड लेवल देखिए बॉटम से एंटर करता है, याद रखिएगा। यहां पर देखिए इस फिगर के अंदर लिक्विड जो एंटर करता है इसका लेवल इस तरीके से मेंटेन करते हैं, लिक्विड इज एंटरिंग फ्रॉम द बॉटम साइड और वेपर इज गोइंग फ्रॉम द टॉप साइड। ओके, जैसे ही वेपर फॉर्म होकर उधर गया तो लिक्विड लेवल इसमें डाउन हुआ तो नीचे से लिक्विड एंटर करता है। सो यू गॉट सर?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, now the another type is the dry and direct expansion evaporator. What these are? In the dry and direct expansion types, you can see here, we use the thermostatic expansion valves are used. Okay, and when the load increases, and one thing is very important about these ones, these dry and direct expansion types has a one extra features that they make a 100% sure that certain degree of superheating can be maintained. 100% sure that the certain degree of superheating is maintained. देखिए how we are maintaining, the rate of refrigerant is supplied in such a way. मैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में जो आपको थर्मोस्टेटिक एक्सपेंशन वाल्व बताऊंगा तो उसमें आपको पता चलेगा, it has a bulb is there, okay, and the refrigerant is coming. Here the thermostatic expansion valve is there. Here the heat is coming. When the heat is coming toward the sides, the refrigerant starts vaporizing, okay, and the rate of refrigerant is such a way so that at somewhere here it is completely vaporized. That means up to this point we have the liquid and vapor, liquid plus vapor, but at this point we have the 100% vapors. Yes, sorry, you write the vapors. Okay, after that whatever the heat is transferring on this portion of the tubes, that make it superheat. You understand? That's why they are known as a dry and direct. That means it's some portion is in dry condition. That means for the superheating conditions. But here also the rate of refrigerant supplied is according to the heat load. More is the heat load, more will be refrigerant. Similar to the previous one. More is the heat, more refrigerant enters. लेकिन दोनों में फर्क क्या है, उसका टोटल कंप्लीट पोर्शन ऑफ द ट्यूब्स आर कवर्ड विद द रेफ्रिजरेंट लिक्विड रेफ्रिजरेंट, बट हियर it's a liquid plus vapors remain in some portion and the some portion is for the superheat. और सुपरहीट तभी हो सकता है जब वहां पे लिक्विड पार्टिकल्स नहीं होते. If there is any liquid particle, the heat first goes to that liquid particle and it will vaporize. When the whole is in the vapor, no liquid particle is there and the heat supplied, it will make it superheat. अब इसके अंदर देखिए, when the less amount of the heat is there, तो complete vaporization will not be here, it will be slightly previous. यहाँ पर complete vaporization हो जाएगा इस portion में, and the more superheating will take place. So that means it may supply the refrigerant in such a rate so that its certain portion has liquid plus vapor and certain last portion has only vapor for the superheating purpose. Definitely, so it requires a lesser amount of the refrigerant. लेकिन इसका efficiency कम होता है with respect to the flooded type. Why? Because where the वेपर्स आर देयर, इस पोर्शन के अंदर कोई हीट ट्रांसफर पोर्शन, बहुत सेंसिबल हीट ट्रांसफर होता है जस्ट टू मेक इट सुपर हीट. सो वेरी दिस ट्यूब पोर्शन इज less efficient because it is receiving the less amount of the heat, and in this portion where the liquid is available, that is receiving the more amount of the heat. So that means overall efficiency of the direct expansion evaporator is lesser, much lesser than the efficiency of the flooded pipe. You understand these things? Any
Yes, sir.
questions?
What is the purpose of filler bulb?
Yeah, filler bulb is just to control the, it gives a sense that the 5 degree or previously set superheating degree is achieved, and it control the refrigerating device or this thermostatic expansion valve to supply more refrigerant or less refrigerant. So this filler bulb's role is that to supply the sensation to the thermostatic valve to supply more or less refrigerant. That will be very much clear in the next class when we'll discuss about the expansion device. Okay, it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One important parameter that about the liquid refrigerant, of course, the amount of refrigerant supplied both the cases depend on the load. जब ये मैंने आपको बताया, higher the load, higher rate will be of the refrigerant. Flooded evaporator is always filled with the liquid refrigerant, so give the greatest efficiency always. But DX evaporator require more or more liquid refrigerant when the load increases. So has a larger liquid, जितना ज्यादा larger liquid होगा surface का, उतना ज्यादा efficiency होगा. So larger liquid will come in the DX coil when you have the higher load. So more liquid refrigerant will be supplied. So therefore DX evaporator has the greatest efficiency when the load is maximum. And the evaporators, air cooling evaporator. Now we are discussing only the air side, and then we come to the chiller side second. The air cooling evaporators according to the type of constructions. According to the type of constructions, we divide in the three parts: bare tube, plate surface, and the fin tubes. Bare tubes means with the bare tubes and the plate surface evaporators are also known as the prime surface evaporator. What is the meaning of the prime? There are two types of the surfaces are there. When you see the tubes are there and the outside air is coming direct contact with this refrigerant. Okay, so that means here the 5 degrees centigrade temperature, here has a 40, so maximum temperature difference we are getting. So maximum heat transfer will take place. So that means this surface is known as the prime surface. And when we are using the fins, then we call it is a secondary surface, because at the secondary surface temperature varies. It will not be equal to the refrigerant. So that means the surface which having the varying temperature at their surface, that is known as a secondary surface, whose efficiency is less. Prime surface means which has that throughout surface temperature equal to the refrigerant temperature. Okay, so bare tube या plate surface, they having the prime surface होता है उनके अंदर कोई fins या secondary surfaces नहीं होती है, और जिसपे हम fins लगाते हैं they have the secondary surface. So secondary surface, because they are not filled with the liquid refrigerant, their efficiency is lesser. Okay. Prime surface evaporator, both bare tube and plate types, are satisfactory when the temperature is closer to the 34 degrees centigrade, means around the 2 degrees centigrade. When the temperature is 2 degree means closer to the freezing point of the water, तो वहां पर हम लोग प्राइम सरफेस यानी कि bare tube and plate type surfaces we are using. And where the higher temperature use, that means chances of the frost formation, means ice formation के chances कम होते हैं, there we use the fin type. Okay. what the plate bare tube, ये देखिए अब जरा इसमें first is the bare tube. This is the bare tube is there, means only simple tubes are there in the different shapes we can have. They are either steel pipes or they may be the copper tubes. Steel pipe is used for the large evaporators and with the application with ammonia, as we told earlier. Whereas the copper tube is utilized with smaller evaporator having the refrigerant other than ammonia. Okay. The ये common shapes हैं. It is a flat zigzag shape is there. और second one जो आप देख रहे हैं, this is the oval shape one. Oval shape. It is the oval shape is there. Spiral bearings tubes can also be used for the liquid chilling. So these are the bare tubes that we are using. It's a simple one, sir. Yeah. Another is the plate surface evaporator. Have you seen this plate surface evaporators in your household applications?
In refrigerators.
In your refrigerator, very good. In the refrigerators, आपका होता क्या है? Simply you see, this is the one plate is there. ये तो आपका flat plate हो गया. Okay, this is the one flat plate. और जो दूसरे वाला है हमारे पास में, another plate is in the wavy form. मतलब इस तरीके का wavy form में होता है. And this is the another wavy form plate is like this way. Okay. And the portion, ये जो portion देख रहे हैं ना, this portion, these portion behave like a tubes. इसको इस form में देखिए. These behave like a tube. इसमें कोई tube नहीं होता. Only two surfaces are there. One is flat, another is in the wavy form, and they are embossed. यानी कि जो flat वाला portion देख रहे हैं ना, here it is embossed. और ये जो tube वाला portion देख रहे हैं, other tube नहीं है, but is this portion is there. इस point पे you can say it is embossed. यानी कि pressure से जो press में forming होती है, तो it is stick to that one, or it make a perfect contact. And this open portion behave like a tubes. And this is its cost is very lower side cost. And this particular type of the plate surface evaporator is widely used in the household refrigerators. जो आपके refrigerators होते हैं, अब इस sheet को आप box form में बना देते हैं. जो आपके refrigerator में that is in the box form. On some fridges, because it can be easily cleaned हो सकता है, economical to manufacturers, and can be readily formed into one of the various shapes required. जो भी shape की आपको box form बना है, आप इसको fold कीजिए उस box form में, and that can be used. Similar to that ones, there's another form is also used, but in this form the two flat plates, bottom plate और जो ऊपर से आप बाई वाला देख रहे हैं, this is the top plate. In between the two plates, these are the actual tubes are there. In this tubes are placed. Okay, अब tubes use कर रहे हैं तो cost higher होगा in comparison of the previous one. And they are welded or soldered at the ends only. Okay, बीच में नहीं करते, ends पर it is soldered. And the remaining portion जो gap रहता है between the tubes and this upper top plates, this then what we do, either we make a perfect vacuum, वे वैक्यूमाइजर लगा करके इसमें से एयर जो भी होता है that is taken out. Okay, यहाँ पर सील कर दिया और लास्ट में यहाँ से आपका एयर को सक कर दिया, and so that the perfect contact is formed between the two plates. Or secondly, what we do, either we fill some liquid that is known as the, or some solution that is known as the eutectic solution. Either you fill this portion by the eutectic solution or evacuate it completely so that the plates, tubes have a perfect contact. ये जो eutectic solution होता है ना, that make a very good characteristics here. It provide a holdover capacity. Do you understand the meaning of holdover capacity? Holdover capacity means इसको हम बेसिकली आपका रेफ्रिजरेटेड ट्रक्स होते हैं ना, उसमें हम इसको यूज करते हैं। इन द रेफ्रिजरेटेड ट्रक्स में क्या होता है, डे टाइम में आपका सिस्टम रन करता है एंड द नाइट टाइम में इट इज पार्क इन पार्किंग और सिस्टम क्लोज करते हैं। देन व्हाट हैपेंस, द सॉल्यूशन जो इसमें फिल किया था, दिस यूटेक्टिक सॉल्यूशन रिसीव द कूलिंग, मतलब इस कूलिंग को एब्सॉर्ब कर लेता है अपने आप में, एंड दिस लिक्विड कन्वर्ट्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ द सॉलिड्स। एंड एट द नाइट टाइम this system when becomes closed, this solid starts melting, and during the melting it receives the latent heat and provide the cooling effect. So that is when the system is not working. When the system is working and the cooling is absorbed, and when the system is not working and this cooling is rejected, this is known as the holdover capacity, and this is also come under the category of the plate surface evaporators. और टेम्परेचर जो है, दिस इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय द मेल्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ द टेम्परेचर। किस सिस्टम में कितना टेम्परेचर रहेगा, दैट विल डिपेंड ऑन द मेल्टिंग पॉइंट ऑफ द योर यूटेक्टिक सॉल्यूशंस। हाँ जी, ये दोनों पोर्शन क्लियर हो गए आपके?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
एनी क्वेश्चंस?
Sir, in that other one where the sheets were imposed,
पार्डन?
so the other type of evaporator,
हाँ जी बोलिए।
जिसमें सर दो प्लेट्स को एक दूसरे पे इम्पोज करते हैं,
हाँ,
उसमें रेफ्रिजरेंट कहाँ ट्रेवल करता है?
जो प्रीवियस वन था,
यस सर।
देखिए ये जो पोर्शन है ना, ये क्या बन गया आपका, होलो पोर्शन होगा, इसमें इसे आपका ट्यूब की तरह बिहेव करता है। यहां से देखिए ये इस तरीके से बनता है, ये ट्यूब ही तो बन गया आपका एक तरीके से।
ये दोनों एंड पे क्लोज होता
आप
है।
अपने आज ना रेफ्रिजरेटर को देखना, रेफ्रिजरेटर में जो आइस वाला पार्ट्स है ना, उसमें कोई ट्यूब नहीं होता, वो इसी तरीके से एम्बॉसिंग से ही बनाते हैं।
ओके।
उसमें डाई होती है, जब मशीन पे बनता है ना, एक प्लेट सरफेस फ्लैट होती है और दूसरी जो डाई होती है ना, वो इस तरीके की होती है, उसमें ट्यूब का शेप होती है, और दूसरी प्लेट उसके ऊपर रख के जब प्रेस करते हैं तो वो शेप बिल्कुल पूरी की पूरी वैसी ही आ जाती है। तो इसमें पूरा ट्यूब वाला फॉर्मेशन आ जाता है।
ओके
ओके,
ओके।
and this in the cold storage, this plate evaporators you can see, ये आपका पूरा रैक की फॉर्म है। ये देखिए पूरा एक प्लेट टाइप हो गया ये, और इसमें रेफ्रिजरेंट जो है आपका ये सीरीज वाला है। रेफ्रिजरेंट एंटर्स हियर, यहाँ पे ट्रैवल करके फिर सेकंड प्लेट में जाता है, फिर थर्ड में जाता है, एंड सो ऑन। सो दिस इज अ सीरीज फॉर्म में, रैक फॉर्म में आपको मिलेंगे वहां पर। आप इसमें इस पोर्शन में आप अपना लगे जो भी फूड्स व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू कीप, यू कैन प्लेस। And this, in this case, it is in the parallel. One plate is here, another plate is here. Parallel means the number of points पे refrigerant enter करता है. So one refrigerant is flowing through the one plate, another refrigerant is entering through the second plate, third plate, and the another. So it making the parallel shape is there. And this also reduce the P capacity. But the holdover capacity is stored in this ones, and when the system is not working, so that can be used, or system is working continuously, तो इसमें जो hold over capacity है that can be utilized. And this ones you have already seen. This is the fin evaporators. Fin evaporators means here the spots there है ये, these are the fins are there. These are the fins, and these are the tubes are there. Over the tubes, the fins are provided. Of course, the air which is coming and have a contact with the fins, that fins then becomes hotter and transfer it heat to the refrigerant passing through the tubes. But definitely the air which is in between the two fins and tubes, it is not coming to any fins and any tubes in contact. So that will pass out as it is on temperature. But definitely if I am using only the tubes only, that the most of the heat will pass between the two tubes, and your bypass factor will be very high, and the less air will come in contact with the tube. But when I'm using this secondary surface, that means fins are used, then the more quantity some quantity will come in contact with tubes, and some quantity of the air will come in contact with the fins, and the heat will be transferred. Okay, so here after generally fin coil tubes will occupy the less space, either bare tubes or the plate surface. So आपका definitely efficiency जो है इसके अंदर improve हो जाता है. तो ये आपका बहुत सारे applications में हम लोग इसको आपका domestic purpose में या आपका उसमें use करते हैं इसको. And another classification of the evaporator is based on the natural convection evaporators and the forced convection evaporators. Natural convection, as I told you, the convection heat transfer process means if you are supplying the heat, suppose it is a liquid water is there and you are supplying the heat, the water at the bottom receives the heat and becomes hotter and goes upward side. Because the hotter water particle becomes lighter, ये आपको मालूम होगा. Okay, the lighter particle goes upward side and the colder particle at the top, they having the high density, they come downward sides. And this movement of the particle means lighter particle upward side and the hotter particle, heavier particle downward side. This is known as the convection current. Okay, and by this one the heat transfer process is known as the natural convection process. Okay, and when you are using the fans, that means you are forcing the air to move, then it is known as the forced convection process. For example, आप फैन को बंद कर दीजिए, आप में गर्मी में आप बाहर से आकर के बैठते हैं, तो जो भी नेचुरल उससे आपका जो एयर का मूवमेंट होगा, नेचुरल बहुत स्लो होगा, वो जो हीट ट्रांसफर होगा दैट इज द कन्वेक्शन होगा. ओके, या आपने हॉट टी को एनवायरनमेंट में रख दीजिए, तो एनवायरनमेंट वो स्लोली कूल होगा, तो वो आपका नेचुरल कन्वेक्शन से कूलिंग होगा. ओके, बट व्हेन यू ऑन द फैन, स्विच ऑन द फैन, then the heat transfer rate from your body will increase. That will be the forced convection process, because the air is coming, taking heat and goes away. It's a faster process is there. And similarly, if you put the hot cup of tea under the fan is forcing the air to move, so your tea will become cooler at a faster rate. So that is known as the forced convection. I hope the natural and convection, forced convection is clear to everyone. So when you are using the natural convection evaporators, आपका इसमें देखिए आपके फ्रीजर में क्या होता है, आपके आइस बॉक्स जो है ना टॉप पे रखते हैं इसमें, it having the ice. Okay, इसमें कोई फैन नहीं होता, and when the door is closed and the hot stuff, यानी कि आपने यहाँ पर फ्रूट रखा. The fruit, let's say the fruit is there at the outside temperature condition. Now the door is closed. The inside air which come in contact with this fruit becomes hotter, and then it rises upward sides. At the top, there is an ice box is there, and this ice box में ice मान लीजिए है या नहीं भी है, तो आपका plates type of the heat exchanger is there. So the refrigerant is passing. So this air rejects its heat to this refrigerant or to this ice and becomes colder. Colder means density become high, and then itself it comes downward sides. So this is the natural convection evaporators, and this installation are in the household refrigerators, display cases and large storage rooms के अंदर, where the minimum dehydration of the product is desired. Because if faster is the air velocity, so it will give the more dehydration. Dehydration means कि आपने मान लीजिए एप्पल रखा, तो एप्पल के ऊपर से अगर फास्टर रेट पे आपका एयर पास हो रहा है, तो एप्पल में से मॉइस्चर निकल जाएगा, तो डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाएगा. लेकिन वेलोसिटी स्लो होगा तो डिहाइड्रेशन भी कम होगा. So in that case, natural convection evaporators, the dehydration, where the minimum dehydration is required, so we keep the very low velocity. and this is the application where it is used. This natural convection is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And another is, इसमें एक चीज आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, जो कोल्ड वाला चैम्बर है, that should be at the top. Warm air is lighter than cold air and tends to rise. So evaporator should be located as high as possible. आपका इसमें ये वाला पोर्शन को हम क्या बोलते हैं? This is the evaporator. जो ice box है, that is basically the evaporator. Rest is the free chamber. The whole chamber is just a box. The top portion is only evaporator. Evaporator is the part through which the refrigerant passes. नीचे से रेफ्रिजरेंट पास नहीं होता. ओके, तो इवेपोरेटर पोर्शन टॉप पर होना चाहिए. And another is the forced convection evaporator. Forced convection evaporator, they are also known as the unicooler or blower coils. Blower means because a blower or a fan is used. इस पे देखिए एक फैन इज प्रोवाइडेड किया हुआ है इसमें यहाँ पर. So this fan जो है supplying the air. So that means by force the air is circulated. So that means when the air is circulated with the help of some external means, not only due to the density difference, then it is known as the forced convection. So this fan, it need a fan. Definitely, in this case, the faster cooling will be achieved. But if your product is in open condition, so dehydration will takes place. तो इसलिए अगर आपका फैन लगा हुआ है तो उसमें प्रोडक्ट का डिहाइड्रेशन ज्यादा होने के चांसेस होते हैं. ओके, लेकिन अगर आपने अपने प्रोडक्ट को सील्ड कंटेनर के अंदर रखा है, जस्ट लाइक ए कोल्ड ड्रिंक की बोतल रखनी है, तो कोल्ड ड्रिंक की बोतल तो सील्ड है. सो वॉट एवर द हाउ मच फास्ट वेलोसिटी इज देयर, तो इट्स कंटेंट इज नॉट वेपोराइजिंग, गोइंग टू वेपोराइज. तो अगर आपने ये यूज किया है तो ऐसे आइटम्स को जो कि आपके डिहाइड्रेशन के चांसेस हैं, तो उनको और फिर आपने किसी पॉलीथीन में या किसी बॉक्स में बंद करके रखिए. ओके, low air velocity 60 meters per minute to 90 meters per minute is recommended for the comfort air conditioning where low noise is required. Medium air velocity 150 meters per minute to 240 meters per minute is for refrigerator and freezer where the noise is not a problem. High velocity 240 meters and above is for quick cool down of temperature is required for the blast freezer. Blast freezers जो होते हैं उनके अंदर immediately cooling होता है. For example, just suppose कि tea होता है, tea means मटर्स जिसको हम बोलते हैं, green tea जो होते हैं, when they are going to store, उसमें क्या होता है, कन्वेयर बेल्ट्स होता है, कन्वेयर बेल्ट्स के ऊपर पीस को हम डाल देते हैं, and the blast freezers, that means the cold air is passed from the bottoms. So that means उसमें से जब एयर पास होता है कोल्ड एयर, तो इमीडिएटली दैट बिकम्स कोल्ड. तो उसमें ब्लास्ट फ्रीजर्स को हम यूज करते हैं. फिर उसके बाद में उसको स्टोरेज में लेके जाते हैं. ओके, लेट्स हैव ए 5 minutes ब्रेक. उसके बाद में हम इसको कंटिन्यूस